Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Swampy Comics Weekly Tier List. I'm Swampy, and we're going to be taking the comics that I picked up this week and throwing them right here in the Guy Gardner tier list. And today was kind of a little more of a spare week than the last couple, but some big releases this week, and a book with a lot of stories in it. So let's just get going right away here. First up, we got Absolute Evil #1. This is written by Al Ewing with pencils by Giuseppe Camuncoli, inks by Stefano Nessi, colors by Romulo Fajardo Jr., and letters by Tom Napolitano. And in this issue, this monumental one shot for the Absolute Universe, we have a summit of a lot of the villains that we've either met or heard of, or just maybe met in a couple of panels in the case of the Joker. They're all coming together to discuss this chaos and hope that's appeared in the world in the form of Kal-El and Diana and Bruce Wayne as Batman in Gotham City. And it's really, really cool. I mean, it opens up with absolute Hawkman in the 50s, just totally ready to sell out people for the government. You have members of the JSA either being murdered or taking money to just quit being superheroes. And you just see the hopelessness in the absolute universe. And it's really cool to see that carry over to the modern absolute universe where you have Ra's al Ghul, Hector Hammond, Veronica Cale, Eleanor Thawne, and the Joker man himself. Um, yeah, just discussing how their evil needs to stay within the world because it is indeed the order of the world. And I mean, Joker even has science to back that up. It's all really interesting and really cool. At the end of the issue, because Brainiac is listening into this whole conversation through Ra's al Ghul's glasses, but we do get Mirror Master coming into the fold and telling Brainiac the things that he's seen in this other universe, and if they're going to succeed, they're going to need one other piece to this puzzle, and that piece is absolute Lex Luthor, who seems like a really sweet, nice guy. I can't wait to see how awful he truly is or ends up being. That should be really interesting. And oh yeah, we got the debut of Absolute Green Arrow and the death of Absolute Green Arrow all in the same issue. Um, I mean, this was. I mean, I feel like I'm selling it light here, but this was so dense and so on tone and so just good. Like I don't. I mean, I spoiled a lot, but if you haven't read this, I don't want to spoil the very end of Joker's major speech and seeing kind of his true character kind of leak out. The more and more he gets frustrated about what he's talking about is really fascinating. But I mean, this was just near perfection. This was such a good one shot. Like, you got the Trinity, 12 issues into their run, and Absolute Martian Manhunter pausing at 6 for now, and Green Lantern and Flash at 7 and 8 respectively. I mean, this is a great place to just pick up into the Absolute universe if you haven't already. I would pick this up. This is just, if you like any of the Absolute books, I would say this is a must read. It is so damn cool and adds so much depth to the world. Yeah, man, this is supremely going in S tier. Like this is good. This is so good. I really enjoyed Absolute Evil. Um, yeah, I hope we get. I mean, we are getting more. We're getting an Arkham special. We're getting a Joker special down the line. I hope we have more room for villains in this Absolute line. I hope they make more room for them like this early on in the Absolute line. I mean, there's room for one shots for these people. They don't have to be full issues taking up like the Brainiac issue, Super Absolute Superman #7, I believe it was. The introduction of Absolute Brainiac. I mean, that could have been its own one shot, but you know, it's neither here nor there. I just want more. I just want more because I'm enjoying it so much. But yeah, this is an S tier book. Yeah, great stuff. Moving on to Absolute Green Lantern #7. This is another book written by Al Ewing, with guest artist Riley Rossimo for this issue, and as well as art by Jason Howard, colors by Iñaki Az- Azpiazu, and letters by Lucas Gattoni. This one is really taking a left turn from what we've been doing for the past 6 issues of Absolute Green Lantern, and we are in full on space battling mode. I mean, we get the introduction of what the Black Stars are all about. We see some Green Lanterns working together. We get Metaphil, Aricia, and somebody who I don't recognize named Karina Vint. They're absolute Green Lantern selves. We have Red Lantern Tomar Ray coming into the fray. Black Hand Kilowog, which was scary and sad because Kilowog's like the man normally, but here seeing him as a really powerful bad guy is depressing and frightening all in one. And not only that, but at the end of this issue, we get Sinestro. We get to see absolute Sinestro, and he is a weird, nasty, cybernetic mess, and I love it. Um, this issue seems to be pretty, and this whole series seems to be pretty divisive with people. A lot of people think it's the least of the absolute titles. And I mean, like I've always said, that may be kind of true in some senses, but that's, I mean, it's a B plus book and a C of A and A plus books. I mean, this is still really great, and I thought this issue was fantastic. I think we spent the first 6 issues getting to know kind of who our main Sector 2814 characters are going to be and putting them in the places they need to be in order for Mogo to come to town. And we really get crazy with the Green Lantern stuff, hopefully, here in the next few issues. Yeah, I'm really excited for what's to come. My only criticism is yeah, this was a huge left turn. I mean, we didn't see any of our, normal characters in this book. And I'm almost wondering, I mean, maybe they should have done this one a little earlier, like thrown it into the middle of the previous 6 issues. But I get wanting to do 6 issues and then just kind of having like a standalone to flesh out the universe. That's been a really good pattern that I've noticed the Absolute books have kind of been taking for most of them. So yeah, this was a really good issue, a really strong series. I'm going to put this in B tier. I have a feeling, I'm going to put it in B tier because I have a feeling an issue like this will be a lot more interesting when everything's out together all in one big story chunk. But on to our third absolute book of this week. We got Absolute Superman #12. And this is by writer Jason Aaron, with art by Rafa Sandoval, colors by Ulysses Ariola, and letters by Becca Carey. And in this issue, we have Kal-El. He's on the run from Lazarus, Ra's al Ghul, and Talia. Just the whole dystopic, mega powerful, mystical corporation stuff going on this end of things. And yeah, this is a really big. I think this issue is a really big turning point in the series. This is where we really feel Kal-El come into his own and kind of calm down and take a breath and realize that, hey man, all hope isn't lost. I just got to keep fighting, and there's people here worth fighting for. And he's learned to just calm down because he's made mistakes in the past, and we see one of those involving a peacemaker early on in his supermaning days on Earth. And yeah, this was a good filler issue. It definitely felt like the calm before the storm, because I do think we're going to get our big confrontation with Kal-El and Ra's al Ghul next issue. Because as he's hiding out in Smallville with Lois and Jimmy, a town that fully supports him, Lois and Jimmy find out, and since they're friends of his, they are totally game to support them. And it's really beautiful and hopeful the way that folds out in the cafe in Smallville. But I mean, this issue closes with, I mean, just I mean, we have tanks and helicopters and freaking giant mechs. We're gonna get giant robots next issue. Let's go. That's why we read comic books, for giant robots to come up and for then holes to get punched through them, right? I mean, I'm really excited. Yeah, this issue is really a big turning point in the series, and I think this is going to be one to reflect back on, and I think it's going to really make the previous 11 issues shine even brighter. I can't wait to see what's to come. I can't wait to see hope erupt in the absolute universe with the help of Kal-El. I really enjoyed this issue, although it did feel like a little bit of an just kind of in the middle there. I'm going to give it B tier. No, it's a strong B. Both Green Lantern and Superman, these are strong Bs, but I'm trying to. I give a lot of A's out. I need to, make the scores matter a little more. You can tell that I'm torn about not giving it an A. But anyway, on to another book, another DC book. We got Batman #2. This is the second book in writer Matt Fraction's run, with art and letters again by Jorge Jimenez and colors by Tamu Mori, with more letters by Clayton Cowles. And in this book, we get introduced to Tim Drake, Robin, um, getting into some trouble with some gang members and getting shot and getting arrested and thrown in the back of a paddy wagon where these cops under Vandal Savage are. I mean, these aren't even Vandal Savage loyalists. They're trying to prove to themselves that, or prove to those guys that they don't need them. But it's Gotham City. Most people are pieces of crap, right? Um, but man, did I love this issue. This was so cool. It was so cool seeing the opening of Tim trying to learn how to drive, which comes into play later when he has to take a wounded Batman back to the Batcave. And, seeing Damian not be the little grim, dark, I hate everything kid, just being more of an arrogant little piece of comic relief. I really like, because I'm not a big fan of Damian when he pops up. Um, but wow, this was really good. I'm really excited to see what comes from Matt Fraction's run. This is all leading to just good, fun superhero storytelling. And I like this lighter take on Batman that we're getting. I mean, he's still the same brutal caped crusader and all that, but seeing him be really nice and caring to his Robin, and for once, it's yeah, it doesn't happen too often. He usually gives begrudging respect to his pupils, but he seems a lot more patient and a little more of a mentor rather than a Ra's al Ghul type of headmaster kind of thing. I don't know. I'm going off on a tangent there, but I just really like this interpretation of Batman, and I really am sold on Tim Drake Robin right off the bat. I mean, he is such a badass doing what he was doing in the back of the van, and man, yep, I loved this issue. I mean, yeah, this is a starting. This run is starting off so good. It's going in A tier. It was great stuff. All right, next up, we got a big book with multiple shorts in it. So I'm going to try to go through this as fast as possible. This is a DC Zatannic Panic #1, kind of a Halloween season book for DC. And it features a lot of stories. My cat's going wild over there. Features a lot of stories. And the first one up is with Zatanna herself. It's a story called The Greatest Magician There Ever Was, by writer Lyndon Radchenka, art by John McCree, colors by Mike Spicer, and letters by Ariana Marr. And this is just a nice, perfect short story about Zatanna doing some stage magic during a performance. And when she is doing this coffin trick, when she goes into the coffin, she's taken into some weird, dark, twisted reality where Brother Knight tests her patience and emotions and magical power in just a really cool, concise, short story. I really like this. I really love Zatanna, so I mean, that's a little bit of bias, but I thought this was really well done. And if you're not familiar with her character, I thought this was, a great short introduction for anybody who might not be sure what she's about. I mean, this hit all the notes. Stage performer, a villain, the history with her father, how her magic kind of works, and what a just great showwoman she is. Um, this story gets, yeah, A tier from me. Next up, we got Ouroboros. This is a Batman story written by Roberto Recchioni with art by Luigi Cavanago and letters by Stephen Wands. And yeah, this one is a really cool, top tier, very artfully done Batman story that they say is kind of palindromic, and it is to a certain extent. Maybe not as much as Watchmen ended up being, but anyway, I don't need to get into that. But yeah, this was really cool. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great one of those. It's great when superhero comics, especially somebody like Batman, can really remind you that art belongs in comics, and this is a medium for art. And this was just really cool and thought provoking. And yeah, gets an A for me. Ouroboros gets an A. Next story, Full Size Bars. This was a story about Plastic Man, written by Daniel Warren Johnson, with art by Riley Rossmo, colors by Iñaki Azpiazu, and letters by Tom Napolitano. The less said about this one, the better, and I mean that in a good way. This was the weirdest, most Halloweeny. Plastic Man is an insane bastard, goofy, horrifying story about Plastic Man making the children come together to save their parents from apathy. And oh man, yeah, I so weird, so gross, and so weird. I loved it. Um, this was probably the standout story of the book for me. I'll put this one in S tier. I'm never gonna forget this short story. Full size bars, the Plastic Man story, and Zatannic Panic. People, what a weird trip. Next one is In Your Eyes, starring the character Warlord. This is by writer Alex Galler, art by Daniel Bayliss, colors by Matt Herms, and letters by Ferran Delgado. I'm not too familiar with Warlord. I know he's like a world character from Philip Kennedy Johnson era Superman. I mean, he might have a presence in DC before that too. I don't know if PKJ came up with Warlord or not, but due to my lack of familiarity with the character, I'm just gonna throw this one in B tier because it didn't really hit for me. But I feel like that's just because I have no connection with the character. Because I mean, it was solidly done and it kind of fit the theme. But yeah, yeah, I'll just move on. Splitting Airs, the Etrigan story by writer Cavan Scott, arts and colors by Don Aguio, and letters by Micah Myers. This was S tier. I loved this so much. This was a perfect Etrigan story. This was, I mean, just uh, it was great. It just starts off quick. You're instantly into Etrigan fighting this other demon who's trying to bestow this crown upon him to make him the leader of hell. So all the other barons want to come after him, and he ends up fooling her, and she ends up wearing the crown because Etrigan is a clever guy, and I love Etrigan. This was S tier. This is a perfect little Etrigan short story. Perfect. Speaking of favorite characters, we're going to move on to the next short story. This is What a Horrible Night to Have a Curse by writer Andrew McLean, a writer, artist, and letterer Andrew McLean, with colors by Jordi Belair. This stars John Constantine and Swamp Thing, as Constantine is hunting a werewolf who has bit him. Um, and he begins to undergo a change on his own and seeks help from old Swamp Thing. And Swamp Thing is definitely down to help Constantine, but Constantine insists that if he has to kill either him or this other werewolf, to kill himself and make sure to not kill the werewolf. Um, Swamp Thing figures out that wait, I could grow wolfsbane. That repels werewolves, and he's able to just turn the whole forest into a wolfsbane forest. And Constantine and this other werewolf come back to being normal. You find out this werewolf was a little child. John Constantine is a super selfless guy, and Swamp Thing would really rather not kill his friends, and figured out a really clever way to make the situation end nicely. I thought this was great. It has my favorite superhero in it, Swamp Thing, and another one of my favorites, Constantine. This was S tier. Trick or Trader of Gladestone Street. This is by artist writer Rowan McCall with letters by Ferran Delgado. And this is a story starring Raven, another character who I don't have much connection with, but I thought this was a great Halloween comic. Super simple and concise, and I do know enough about Raven to know that the villain in this story really it matters, and it you know it, them popping up was poignant. And yeah, this was great. A tier. This was fantastic. The Raven story, The Trick or Treater of Gladestone Street, was A tier. Great. And then we'll move on to the next one. This one did not hit with me at all, but we'll get into the Haunted comic, The Ambush Bug Story, by writer Callie C. Miller, artist Megan Huang, letters by Pat Brousseau. I'm not going to shit on this. It just wasn't my thing. It didn't hit with me, but I know people got a lot of love for this character, in pockets of the fandom, and I just don't care. Um, but it did its job. It did its job. It's C tier for me, but other people might think higher of it. Just want to make it clear I'm not trying to crap on it. But yeah, there we go. DC's Zatannic Panic. Um, this had way more hits than any misses. Yeah, it's A tier. That was a great holiday book. I liked it a whole lot. I liked it a whole lot. Next up, we got Justice League. I mean, this is a very, very, very DC heavy week. We got Justice League, the Omega X special #1. This is by writer Joshua Williamson, with art and colors by Yasmin Putri, and as well as art by Sean Tormey, with letters by Dave Sharp. And this is the last prequel to DC KO, where everything is going down, time is falling apart. The Time Trapper is trying to show Booster Gold he's gotta tell Superman how this needs to go down. They are chased by the Darkseid Legion through time, not just through time, but the Darkseid Legion is ripping apart time to get to them. We have this really cool side story with well, let's just say before I get to that, Booster Gold gets a big power increase, and yeah, this is just adding to the hype for DCKO to me. And on top of all that, we get this really cool side story with Krypton back in the day, with Ursa and Superman's mother Lara, right? I think that's her name. Why did I just yes, Lara. God, it's Lana, Lara. There's some, yeah, you know how it is. But yeah, this really cool story about them finding some strange, weird, dark heart in the heart of Krypton that has to do with the King Omega, and I yeah, I'm just excited to learn more. I can't wait for the next issue of Superman. This has me hyped for so much. This did its job well, and next week DC KO kicks off officially. So this special is going in A tier. All right, next up we got Star Trek Red Shirts. This is by writer Christopher Cantwell, with art by Megan Levins, colors by Charlie Kirchhoff, and letters by Jody Troutman. And in this issue, we have our red shirts under attack on this giant tower as they're trying to get back the information that was put out as bait for these unknown to our heroes, but known to us as some Romulans, these spies that are stealing their information. And it was cool. This series continues to impress. I absolutely am in love with this comic. It is just balls to the wall action. The tone is right. The references are all on point, and you're never sure who's going to die next. Um, Seeing a Vulcan ally of the Romulans kind of come out of the shadows is really interesting. I can't wait to learn more about what's going on with that, as well as the cliffhanger, finding out that our heroes got transported onto a Klingon vessel. So I can't wait to see how they're going to get out of this one. Um, Boy, oh boy, Star Trek Red Shirts, one of the surprises of the year for me. This book's great. A tier, without a doubt, A tier. And last but not least, we got a Marvel book. We got X-Men Age of Revelation Overture #1. This is by writer Jed MacKay, with pencils by Ryan Stegman, inks by J.P. Mayer, colors by Edgar Delgado, and letters by Clayton Cowles. And the Age of Revelation kicks off officially with this issue. Um, it really does feel like a fresh start because I it's hard for me to know what's going on, but because I'm not too up on who is and isn't with the X-Men, but it also feels great because this does feel like a starting point. And yeah, I'm sure maybe there might be this seems like one of those things where normal fans of the X-Men run are like, why are we taking a break to do this? But for somebody for me who's hasn't been into it and is just now getting into it, I'm like, hey, this feels fresh and new. I really like the setting and the art. The characterization of everybody is cool already, and we get some deaths that really surprised me right here in the first issue. This was good stuff, and I'm really hoping that I'm picking the right books to pick up for this Age of Revelation event or era or whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's an era. I think it's going to end in like 50 or so issues after a few months. But yeah, this was really cool. Really intense and really just cool. It just felt cool. It was post-apocalyptic X-Men. I didn't read Age of Apocalypse or anything, so this is just all feels fresh and new to me. Yeah, I like this a lot. Um, yet another A tier book this week. And I guess it's kind of obvious what the pick of the week is going to be. Oh, you're just under everything, aren't you? Absolute Evil. Come on now. There we go. Absolute Evil #1. This was just, I mean, the Absolute line is just off to I mean, it's going to be really fun to talk about the last year in comics in like 10 years. It's going to be one of those, man, wasn't 2025 on fire for DC? Like, holy crap, everything was going so right. There's very few series that sucked. Even the two that just got canceled, Green Arrow and Birds of Prey, they're great books. They just weren't selling enough. And, like, it's a shame, but I mean, a tip of the hat to the creators that there's just too much good, and man, we need more people buying comics. So if you can go out to support your local comic store, you totally should. Even if you're ordering physically from somewhere else, if you don't have a local comic book store or if it's hours away or something like that, do that. Support physical media, and yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. Leave a comment. I would love that. But until next time, just stay safe out there, and oh yeah, keep reading.